Harmony brings SharePoint collaboration to every business user, making it really easy and intuitive to collaborate on their work in the environments that they're comfortable in and that they're spending their time in, whether they're on their desktop, on their tablets, on their mobile devices, or even in the cloud. And a consistent user experience that is incredibly intuitive. We're going to go through a scenario now where we start off with our desktop environment and we're going to move to our mobile a little bit later on. So I'm actually in the process of working with some colleagues on a proposal as a response to a new project. I'm interacting with my colleague Melissa. So we can see over on the right hand side we have our Harmony sidebar. And here I can see the interactions that I'm having across multiple interfaces, whether that's in SharePoint, by email, or by link. So we can see that I've been sending some emails to Melissa. I can actually connect to her directly from here as a colleague in SharePoint. So in my Harmony sidebar, I can select the user, I can add that user as a new colleague. Harmony has visibility of any colleague groups that we already have defined in our SharePoint environment, or in fact I can create new ones directly from here as well. So we're just going to add Melissa as a new colleague. I can also find out more information about Melissa simply by selecting her name and expanding the sidebar to show her profile. We can see key information about her, her status, her profile, and even her recent activity. Now I'm in the process of almost completing the proposal that we need to send to our new prospect. I want to send that to Melissa so that she can work on the latest version, and instead of sending the document as an attachment to an email, which typically 80% of even SharePoint users still resort back to sending documents as attachments, I want to send a link to it in SharePoint so that we can all be working on the same version of the truth. As you can see, I just dragged and dropped a document from the sidebar into the body of the email in order to create a nicely formatted link that I can use in the context of my email, therefore promoting the use of SharePoint as a collaboration platform and keeping the version history and security completely intact. So I'm going to send that on its way to Melissa. Now we've been working on this project a little bit, so I have some emails that relate to what we're working on, and I need to store those into SharePoint as well. So I can simply drag and drop the related emails from my inbox into the Harmony sidebar to upload those into SharePoint. As you can see, those are fully contained email objects that can now be opened by my colleagues directly from SharePoint into Outlook. I can also drag and drop attachments as well as documents from my Explorer windows, and we've been doing that already. Harmony also supports any of the content types that are defined in this library, as well as any views. So we actually have an email view here that's just going to filter on those email objects that we uploaded a moment ago. And straight away you can see that the emails have come across with their metadata. So the header information has been automatically populated by Harmony to the corresponding properties in SharePoint, therefore enriching the data as it goes into our SharePoint environment, making it a lot more usable, searchable and filterable. If I just select on our People tab for a moment, as well as our recent activity in email and link, I can also see a view of all the people that I'm connected to as colleagues in SharePoint. Not only can I see a list of everybody, but also I can filter by group as well. So we can see Melissa, who we added a few moments ago, is now a member of our RFP team. I can also follow people as well as document locations or filtered locations based on metadata so that I can see the information that is important to me and carrying out my job. So if I go to where the red dot is taking me and telling me that I have new information, new updates, I can simply select on our activity feed and see a consolidated view of document activity for the locations that I'm following, as well as social activity for the people that I'm connected to. Therefore, putting together the people that I'm working with and the documents that I'm working on. I can filter that view for the information that I want to see, but I can also see that I have a new update at the top where Melissa has already edited that proposal where we asked her to make those changes. The sidebar is fully contextual, so if I select the proposal document, Harmony will take me directly to that proposal in the relevant library, and I can even see the version history, so I can see what Melissa has changed in that document. And we need to get this proposal out very quickly by the end of the day, so I need to make some few final changes to this document proposal. I can carry out any operations that I have permission to execute from here. So I can open the document directly into Word to make some changes. I'll check that document out, and I'll go to my costing section where I've already worked out option 1 and option 2, and I just need to fill in the details for option 3. So I can put a cost in for the first 2 sections. But at this moment in time, I don't actually know the services cost, because I have a meeting with our services manager this afternoon to discuss that and come up with a final figure. I'm just going to save my changes. So now if I fire up the Harmony application, you can see the same sites and favourites that I had access to on my desktop, so I have a consistent user experience. If I select one of my favourites, the library that we were just working in a moment ago, you can see that I have access to all the same documents, and if I select our proposal that we had checked out on my laptop, I can now edit that directly either in a third-party application on my iPad or even on Office web apps if that's available to me in my SharePoint environment. So if we just scroll down to where we were working before, you can see the changes that we made. I now want to fill in the services cost and fill in the total cost for this option. Now I've finished making my changes, I actually want to save that back into SharePoint. So Harmony integrates into those core hooks in the operating system. So now I can save back from that other application into Harmony. Harmony knows that this document is a SharePoint document and gives me the option to update the existing version. So now I'm presented with the metadata to fill that in, and I'm also prompted to check the document in automatically. So I'm just going to fill in my comments that this document is now ready to send to our prospect, and check that document in. So now you can see that that's at version 11, and I want to send it to George as an attachment. I could also send it as a link to the document in SharePoint as well for internal colleagues, but I want to send this externally, so I'm going to send that as an attachment. So as you can see, we've replied to our request for proposal very quickly, very efficiently across multiple devices wherever I'm spending my time. But don't take my word for it, try Harmony for yourself. Go to our website harmon.ie and download Harmony for your desktop as well as for your mobile devices.